What does it look like when you are making everything? Outside of the over-glamorized aspects of fashion with the tens of thousands of dollars made on Shopify and the millions made within the industry, I set out this year to make sure that it was a year of making and actually focusing on my craft. From pretty much January at the start of this year all the way till now, I've been pattern making relentlessly. I've been tweaking ever so slightly. Leave me alone! Yeah. You guys see how much work was put into this, because it is a lot of work. Pretty much the last month or 2 months of work going into this. I have been relatively quiet on social media, as I really do think it's really important for me to just focus on my craft. And as I say every video, I'm gonna try and be more consistent, but like I really want to be intentional, and I think it's being intentional with what I make, what I produce, and what I do put out there. I think so much of instant gratification culture, which has become social media as a whole, it's just, I need to show that I'm doing work, and I felt very insecure about that for a while. But the best designers, and my partner told me this, the best designers are working in their field. They're focusing on the craft. They're not doing it for the validation of the wider whole, but if they were getting money from this, if they weren't getting money from this is what they would be doing. The first item I released last year was the V1 Suka crossbody bags. Came in the ash, the red, and the black colorway. Instead of working against my strengths, realizing what works with me, how I enjoy working, it's kind of just been this entire mission of trying to figure out, okay, how can I work very efficiently while also making sure that I don't sacrifice on my quality, my timing, and also just pacing myself at a much better rate. I think defining what changes I wanted to make in the bag were imperative. There had to be non-negotiables. It should still be the same slouchy silhouette because I really love it. No more internal binding, as that takes way too long. I want to add a lining actually, and changing the zipper from a gap to more of a welt. I ran into a customer of the V1s just a couple days into January. I asked how they were finding the bag, if there were any changes they'd like to see. They said a pocket. I'm a man of the people, so ask and you shall receive. With all these new aspects defined and written down, it's time to start patterning. I've decided for the fabrics at least that I'm going to be using for this first fall and first sample. I have this absolutely gorgeous linen that was vintage, and it was given by my second year tutor, Ange. Thank you, Ange. And just this black upholstery denim that I'm using. This was originally all binding that was already traced in and whatnot, but I've actually decided not to utilize binding anymore, so I'm just gonna use this. What's been currently messing me with is the internal pocket. Yeah, I could just add a very normal lining, but I really wanted to stitch through both layers for like the zippered welt. With these, you're gonna be able to see, for the original zippers, it was just one smaller teeth down. But yeah, just a really beautiful crisp zipper. Nice and matte, this metal stopper here, but I think I'm gonna actually keep that in. I wanna see how that looks. These main things that I really wanted to achieve with, especially this new model, like I'm just going to get the version 2 of the Suka crossbodies. It's just adding interior lining and also pockets, because I really want to target almost that uni demographic, because I always had a bag that I loved, but it didn't have enough, or there were just parts that were missing. And for me, it was just testing out what works for me, learning, especially with the first drop. But now I feel like, okay, there's more of a solid grasp on that, and yeah. I'm currently just doing the first wall of this one. I realized when I was patterning that I didn't actually need to cut out. I'm just going to treat it more like a welt with just one thing put on top and then cutting into it. Let's hope that we don't mess this up, because I don't want to use too much denim before I actually have to go into production. Okay, we have sample 1 for the first bag. First V2 that has been completely done. Same clasp as last time, as I mentioned, different zipper, bigger teeth. But overall, the silhouette is just slightly smaller, not that much egregiously, but yeah, no, I'm really happy with this. Like, it's fitting really beautifully. It's wearing. I'm really excited to see how this is gonna wear and like the fading and stretching that's gonna happen over time. Going with the leather strap still, like not at the end, and then I've just knotted it twice. I'm really happy with this. Like, it looks really anyway, like it just looks overall just really beautiful. It's really contouring to the back, nice, and just that slouch overall. It's not too much pressure on one side. Like, I really hate when crossbodies, like it just feels like it's cutting into your skin, but because the denim on this one, it's not too rigid. Like, I think there will be models that are rigid, but it just feels like really soft, which is great. I cannot wait to make this in leather, like genuinely. It is time for a test of what can fit inside the Suit Grip crossbody. Starting off first, I said this was for uni students and people who were just on the go, MacBook. I want this to really be used as like a travel bag, wear it around the world, please like mess it up. Always carry another pair of clothes. You don't know when or if someone is gonna lose your bag, but the setting sun, so thank you Fidul. Always like to carry a book in here. Water. Wallet. Soap, because fashion men do not be washing themselves. But that is how much fits in the Suit crossbody. Yay, indeed. After these few weeks, we were right at the tail end of January, cutting had been done, and I was just ready to shoot the editorial. But I was also flying to Wellington to surprise my dad for his 50th. That is for another vlog, but the process of editorials is something that I've really fallen in love with. The first editorial being done in the church, I wanted to move towards the different lenses of what I think my personal style entails. I love tailoring. I also wanted to shoot just one model. I had to enlist the coolest person I know, therefore it is my girlfriend Claire. Hi Claire, thanks for doing this. I heard to play opposing roles, as one is a very masculine, very tailored look, while the other is more of your traditional feminine presenting look. I really wanted to show with this bag in the shoot that you don't have to be dressed in a certain way, that this bag is going to fit your wardrobe seamlessly, and it can fit for more of your masculine and feminine looks, because I like being both very androgynous, but also leaning to more femininity, but also more masculinity. I think it's really finding the right person who's going to be a conduit for you, like really communicate what you're trying to communicate. I've always loved the Vianney quote that fashion is the most frustrating thing because how you view it in your head is not how it's actually going to be physically exhibited. But I met up with Samuel earlier in January, and he is probably one of my favorite photographers in Auckland. How he works with the absence of light, both in post and also just during production. We were nearing the end of the month, so that meant finishing production for the Reds, making sure everything was ready before I left back to Wellington for my dad's 50th to surprise him.
Like something like that, and then get a little bit of a moment there, so slowly pan out. Yep. So those I feel like they. It's kind of steam in a way. I don't want the same. Yeah. Like you'll open up. Yeah. And just be standing like in the light as well. So try. Yeah. Yeah. Nice. And then be walking.
We are one day away from release. I've tidied up the studio a little bit, so it's actually like a working space. Just in time for production as well. I feel really good about this change. It was a lot of hard labor, it was a lot of moving, but it's really come together. And I know it's not the biggest thing, it's not the most glamorous thing, but this is a start, you know what I mean? Still to this day, because I don't have a pattern making table yet, I just use my books to stack on top. So it's level height, so I'm not constantly hunched over hurting my back. I'm not saying we're going to eventually become this big company who is going to have massive warehouse space, but having the smaller space makes me really appreciate what I have, and also really appreciate the fact that this is my beginning. This is where Sugib is going to be for the next couple of years before eventually moving back to the Philippines. Good morning, it is a mess. We are 1 minute away from release. There are currently 49 of you on live right now. That was nearly very bad.
What happened?
I accidentally inputted the wrong one. We're live. Marley, quiet.
Stop making up this about you.
There are 4 more of the red left. The black sold out in a minute. You guys are insane. Oh my gosh. It is currently wrapping up of production week. The new lighting system for this is really, I'm really happy with it. I'm happy that I took my time, and it was a lot of frustration, but it looks good. It's hiding all the internal parts, which on the V1 are still slightly visible. I think a lot of people are gonna ask, why did you choose a white lining? For me, it's definitely just the entire ethos of it's going to be worn, and I don't want you to keep these garments pristine because, one, they could be polyester. I want them to be organic and sustainable, and I want them to be natural fibers first and foremost. You are keeping this garment alive not because of its pristine condition, but because it's being worn and you really love this, and it's being continuously degraded, and the lining is going to have to be repaired, and it's going to stain, but it's going to show your story. There's a coffee spill from Tokyo in there. There's lipstick stains from that really bad day. I love those aspects of clothing being bled through, and yeah. It is currently 4:18. Surprisingly, I don't feel that tired. You know when you hit that point of like, I feel like I'm about to crash, but if I get over this, I'm gonna be fine. I think I genuinely feel better at night. Absolutely beautifully sewn on the walking foot. Like, I think on the normal plain silvers, I was kind of really struggling to push through like the magnitude of fabric, like the amount of it. Versus the walking foot, it disperses a lot of the tension, so I'm not having to like literally grab it and then kind of just adjust, which I think that's a really big benefit, and I think it's really like fasten the pace at which I sew and at which I produce. It feels really odd looking back at these clips and condensing hundreds of hours worth of work. I'm happy that I got to go to the beach when I did, because I became a hermit again. If I left a lot of the unedited and unfiltered footage, you'd probably see a lot of sighing, being frustrated, and feeling defeated because an overlocker thread snapped. I was pretty much on my machine for a month straight, and I often feel like no matter what I did or how much I did, in a day, it never feels like I'm making a dent in my work pile. That self-doubt especially hits randomly and frequently, and extremely when you're by yourself and just in your own head. Week by week though, I thought about all the amazing photos y'all send in of your bags being worn, the kind messages. Genuinely, thank you. I understand buying is often pushed as the only way to support these younger and smaller independent designers like myself. Genuinely sharing, commenting, and just engaging with work, not just through a financial sense, that means the world. Without this overall community we've really cultivated over the last couple years, I wouldn't feel as motivated working through the many 5 a.m. nights. It's Nikki, Adam, Zoya, and Yuzo. They help me do quality checking for a lot of the bags. He especially has been a literal angel, helping me pack whenever she's free from work and uni, so thank you. And as well to my partner Claire, thank you for modeling, for the constant reassurance. Just thank you all so much. Vlog going for a while, but obviously I got busy with my other projects. I have a Wellington vlog to show you guys, a buying and leather guide vlog for you guys, and also just some other stuff and experimentation I've been doing with my bags. May is coming up. I have so many projects I want to showcase, but I want to make sure that, again, I'm being intentional with how I'm posting and that I'm actually happy with the content that I'm pushing out. From now on, in regards to drop schedules and what I'm planning on doing, it's making the work manageable for myself. As you see, most of my friends are helping in regards to QC and other aspects, but I'm still doing majority of the sewing. Massive one-man team, but these bags have really been able to facilitate me just focusing on this and becoming self-employed. And that's not to glamorize or be like, oh guys, I don't have a job. I feel unemployed most of the time because it's still, okay, wake up early, still do this, but doing the same repetitive motion, it is tiresome in your brain, but there is genuinely nothing else I would be doing. Like, I really, really love this. I'm still going to be maintaining a pre-order system that allows me to just genuinely be able to make sure I'm not burning out and I'm still focusing on quality and just making sure that everything is pumped out to the degree of standard that I personally have set for myself. Secondly, I'm very excited for May. Date to be announced still. I have my first capsule coming up, and this is with some garments that I've made like in my second year of uni, which I never thought I would progress and actually like put into like production as a whole. When you guys are just like still showing me love after I've gone AWOL, hermit mode as I like to say. So if you're looking for production updates, just nice little previews of what I'm doing, obviously my socials are here, but I've been really active in Discord recently. We send photos of our cats, we send photos of what we're eating. I like Yap United because we just talk, and all of you guys are really cool in there. Me when all of my followers are really like handsome and sexy and like really swag. Anyway, that'll pretty much do it for the vlog. Thank you guys for sticking with my insufferable ass for the last like 16 or so minutes. Anyway, have a good night, have some water, do your skincare, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye bye.